Hey guys, my name is Terrence Blackwell, and we're Blackwell Legacy Group, and we are business consultants to help small business owners who are struggling to increase their revenue by $50,000 without spending more money on marketing and advertising. Today, guys, we're going to talk about the one topic that a lot of people have requested. Because we are business consultants, they want to know how to actually start a business effectively. So today we're going to start. We're going to tackle that topic: how to start a business. But make sure you pay attention. Today, we're going to do things a little unorthodox. This is actually how we actually create small businesses. And we set it up this way to kind of avoid some of the headaches of going back and forth. So this is make sure you stay tuned to the end. Also, we're going to have a surprise at the end. We're going to talk about some of the business myths that people have seen or talked about that we see in the industry. So we're going to talk about those today too. So let's get started. So before we actually jump into starting the business, the nuances of the business, I want to make sure that we're able to ask ourselves four key questions to make sure that we're on the right track. The first question that we're going to ask guys is there a need for the business? So is this something that people will have expressed an interest in? So I'm gonna give you guys an example. When we first started our business consulting, people were asking us for business plans. People were asking us to help them set up their businesses. Guess what? We started a business to help people set up businesses, and we help people to start their business plans. So that's a business of need that we actually started. Then is this business or what will make this business unique or different? So in business, there's a term called a unique selling proposition, and this is something that pretty much it says what makes you unique. So if you're going to start a cafe, if I were to get another cafe and set it right beside yours, what would make your cafe different? Is it how you brew? Is it your hours? Is it who do you market to? Is it the environment? What is it that will make you unique? And that's something that you have to think about if you want to set yourself apart from the competition. Then the next thing is, guys, what will make you successful? So one of the things that we look at within a business plan is your personnel, your team. What does your team look like? So when banks look at your business plan and investors look at your business plan, one of the things they're thinking about is who are you? Are you able to run the business? And then who's your team? So is anyone on your team, does they have the capabilities to help you or undergird the what's needed to grow your team? Is it someone there who has experience in marketing? Is it someone there who has experience in running a business? Is someone there who has experience of doing whatever it is that you guys, whatever business that you want to start? So those are things that you want to kind of think about. And if you don't, some things that you can do is get a coach, get a mentor, or kind of partner with someone else who already has some of these capabilities. The next thing is, do you have the experience in the field? So if you want to start a cafe, do you have experience running a cafe? Do you have the experience working in a cafe? Do you know the nuances of what makes it survive? So these are some of the things that you want to kind of think about. Ask yourself these four questions before you move ahead within the business. And if the answer is no, then that's okay. But you want to make sure that you have a game plan to make sure that you're going to attack some of these things. So the next thing that we're going to do, guys, we're going to think about the name. So I always recommend write down about three names that you're considering. Another thing when it comes to names, I always like names in threes. So the name of our company is Blackwell Legacy Group. We have another company called Legacy Wealth Foundation. So you think about the National Basketball Association or National Football Association, got PGA, Professional Golf Association, National Hockey League. So you think about your name in threes. For some reason, it works better, and it's better for memory of clients as well. So it's something for you guys to think about. Now, you want to do a name search to see if your name is available. You want to do this with your state website. So your SEC, depending on the state that you're in, SEC.Maryland. Every state is going to be a little different. They have different setups. So just search SEC in your state name, and it'll come up. And once you go to the website for the SEC, you want to make sure that you're able to go there and search under the business department, and you should be able to first search your name to see if it's available, whichever name you decide to pick. And then I want you then to reserve that name so that you're able to come back to it within 30 days and up to a year. All right. Now, when it comes to your name, you want to make sure that your name is memorable. So you want to make sure that it's something that's kind of easy to remember. It's not something that's too complicated. You want it to be something that's not really too really hard to pronounce. Also, you want to make sure that there's not another business within the state that has the same name or too close, right? Also, you want to make sure that it doesn't infringe on another trademark or service mark that's already registered with the trademark with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, which is the USPTO. This is important because when you're thinking about your business from a grand scale, you want to make sure that you can trademark your name. You want to make sure it's something that will be available if you do decide to trademark it. And then the last thing, guys, is you want to make sure that you want to search it on social media as well, and make sure that someone else has a name that's similar to that, or or if the name is just taken in general. So those are a few things to kind of think about. The other thing is, guys, you want to avoid some high risk names. Like I said before, anything confusing and names that are too close to something else. And I use the example from Coming to America. You have McDonald's, and then you have McDowell's, right? So yes, it's not the same thing, but it's so similar that it might as well be the same thing, right? It's just a knockoff version of the McDonald's. So you want to make sure that you don't fall into this trap as well. And because it can be a benefit where you can kind of steal some of the marketing dollars, but it also can be, it can affect you negatively too if they think it's too close and there's a trademark infringement. So those are things you want to kind of stay away from. Now, so we talked about some of the high risk names. So this is something that you want to think about as well. This is something that I don't think gets talked about enough. And that's like making sure that your name isn't high risk. So here's some industries that are considered high risk. If you guys can see my screen, you can see some of these different industries. So let me point this out. If you see here, you have business consulting. So our company does business consulting or business development, and but our company name is Blackwell Legacy Group. So we don't have Blackwell Business Consulting as our name, just because we're very intentional about making sure that we're able to be susceptible to any industry. And guess what? If we wanted to, we could change our NAIC code and just do another type of business. We could do real estate, we could do whatever, because it's not anything that is it is not directed to any industry. So that's something you want to kind of think about as well. And I'm gonna explain to you guys what does it mean to be high risk. What does it have a high risk name as well. So some of the effects of having a high risk name is that not all providers will work with you. Some of them will decide to either just like deny your application altogether. So we're talking about banks, we're talking about credit cards, we're talking about some businesses, vendors like phone services, etc. Sometimes they will decline you based on some of these different services that you offer because they deem it as being high risk. And also, you may have a tougher application process where they may ask you more questions than typical. And then sometimes it just may be more strict terms where they ask you to be in business for a little bit longer, maybe 2 years. They may ask you to have a certain income threshold. So these are just kind of some things that you want to kind of think about, and just if you can stay away from it, so you don't have to go through some of these risks. So guys, so if these things have been if this has been good information so far, guys, I want you to take this time out to like and also subscribe to this video. I appreciate you guys for watching so far. We're about to get into the actual process. We have some of the nuts and bolts started, so let's actually get into it. So I appreciate you guys. So the next thing that you want to do, now that you've already reserved your name, now you want to go through the process. Go to number 2. We're going to actually go to file for your virtual address. We're going to get your phone number, and then we're going to get your email provider. So one of the things that you want to look at, guys, is the first thing is your virtual address. So your virtual address is going to be an address that you can use for your business. So we get the question all the time, James, why can't I just use my personal address? You absolutely can use your personal address. That's completely up to you. But that is one of those things that sometimes providers will look at. So certain banks, certain loan applications that we'll look at, and sometimes that would be a flag if you use your personal address, especially if it's like an apartment or something like that. Sometimes they will flag that. Now, the other side is, guys, your business is personal is public information. So if someone were to look up your business, they can always find your business address. So if it's your home address, if you're okay with people knowing your home address, then you can definitely use it. But if not, you want to make sure that you get a virtual address. Now, when it comes to a virtual address, you want to make sure they have the opportunity for you to get package and also document forwarding, because sometimes with the virtual address companies, it may not be in this actual state that you live in. So, for an example, one of them that we've used before, they have addresses in like different places like Idaho, Vegas, California. Those different places, which we don't live in those states, but it still can be a benefit for your company as long as they have forwarding. And they will collect your mail over the month or whatever, and then you'll just forward your mail, however many times a month that you want. So it can be twice a month, it could be once a month, whatever. You'll just pay based on, typically you just pay based on the weight that they're shipping out. So that's just something for you guys to think about. The next thing is you want to have a phone number. So you want to have a business phone number. I don't recommend Google Voice. Again, that's one of the things that they may flag. Certain banks, certain locations will flag it. So you want to do a professional phone number. So now what you can do is, depending on your phone provider that you have for your personal phone, you can actually transfer your personal phone over to a business phone number. And I think you're still able to keep your phone number depending on the service provider. And now that is now an expense of the company, which also means that it's something that you can write off. But bigger than that, you can also get another line that's designated just for the business, and you can have call forwarding set up where someone calls the business phone number and just forward it directly to your personal cell phone number, which is technically the business phone number now. So those are just a few different things that you can do to make sure that your business is set up. And then you also, with certain providers, you can also do a 1-800 number, which just makes your business look a little bit more professional. So again, it's just something for you guys to think about. The last thing that you want to set up, this is all before we actually set up the actual corporation. You want to make sure these things are set up in place first. Now, the next thing that you want to do is get a professional email address. So this is very important because you want to make sure that you're able to house all of your information in one place. Then also, it just looks way more professional. Again, this is another one of those things. Sometimes if they see a Yahoo or Gmail, they will flag it or they will decline certain applications based on this information. So you just want to make sure everything is set up properly to put you in the best position. So you can set up a G Suite email account or Hootsuite. It's a bunch of different providers. So you guys just find one that will work for you the best. And then once you set these things up, you want to make sure that and it's something, and with these, you're going to have like a certain fee. So it may be a couple bucks a month, and maybe a couple bucks a year or whatever. Sometimes they could be free, but you want to make sure they're set up and everything is aligned, meaning that everything is has the same information. So your virtual address, phone number, and your service provider has the same information listed everywhere. So that's very important that you have the continuity between all of your documentation. So for an example, if you set up your virtual address, I would go back and put my business phone number on there. I would go back and put my professional email address, and same thing across the board for everything. So when people look up your business or vendors look up your business, they can see that, it's continuity, online in regards to your business. All right. The next thing is you want to go through the process and actually file your corporation. So today, guys, I'm not going to go too deep into S corps or C corps. I'm only going to talk about LLCs. I'm not going to go into sole proprietorships either. Only going to talk about LLCs today, just as a general business. If you do want more information, I do recommend that you reach out to your accountant and see which ones are going to be the best fit for you. But just as a generality, you can do an LLC to start off. So now, when you're with your LLC, again, you're going to go to your state website. Guys, you don't have to pay anyone to do this. If you want to, you definitely can. But by all means, to do this, you can go to IncFile, file.com is one resource that you can use, or you can just go directly to the state website and go under business, and you'll be able to file it. I believe you can use LegalZoom as well. You do have to pay for them, but it's not a hard task to set up an LLC. So I definitely wouldn't recommend going that route if you don't have to. But if you need help, guys, be sure to comment below, and we'll help you out as much as we can. All right, so once you set up the LLC, you want to make sure that you have a registered agent. So a registered agent is just pretty much someone who accepts the legal documents on the behalf of the company. So if something happens where the company is sued, or if some type of lawsuit, anything like that's against the business, the first thing that they're going to do is they're going to send this information to the address for the registered agent. The registered agent is then responsible to get that information to you as soon as possible. So you want to make sure that your registered agent is someone who is responsible. If you don't have a registered agent, I think you can, there's services out there for it where you can pay for it, or you can just be the registered agent yourself for your company. So once you actually set up your registered agent, then you want to go through the process to pay your filing fee. Your filing fee is going to be different for every state. One thing to consider is once you set up your filing fee, you want to remember that next year, on your anniversary date of you setting up your business, you're also going to have to pay an additional annual fee to keep your business active. So what this does is, and if you don't, what happens is someone looks up your company, or if you go to apply for some type of vendor, they can look and see that your business is not in good standing with the state. So you want to make sure that you keep up with this. You will get documentation in the mail to your virtual address or your address that says that it's time to pay, and to make sure that you keep good standing with the state. Once you actually set this up, you're going to get documentation. So again, this is something I would just recommend getting sent to your email address, just saying that everything is set up. You can take a screenshot of the receipt saying that you paid, etc. And then you're going to want to make sure you keep this within your files. I have a folder in my email that I keep all of this stuff in. So my EIN, which we're going to talk about next, I keep that plus my certificate of good standing, all that in one location. All right, so the state will also send you a certificate. So you want to use that to apply for your licenses, your EIN number, and also for your bank accounts. All right, so the next thing, guys, is going to be your employer identification number. This is a unique number that is for all businesses. Other than sole proprietorships. Your EIN number is equivalent to your social security number for yourself. Is that important? Any application that you fill out for your business, you always want to use your EIN number and not your social, especially for like building business credit. Is very important. You want to remember that. Now, to do this, you want to go to irs.gov. Go to irs.gov, and you're able to submit the application for your EIN number. Guys, be very, very, very careful. Give you guys a horror story kind of. So if this EIN number is completely free. So if you're ever going through a website, and I've seen some websites that are similar to irs.gov, they look very similar, logos and etc. And you get to the end and they're asking you to pay $100, $200. So make sure you go through the process and make sure you're on the right website, irs.gov. Go under business, and you will be able to file for your EIN number. And if anyone asks you to do anything different, it is completely incorrect. All right. This doesn't take long. Also, you're going to get a certificate for your EIN as well. What's going to happen after you complete the process? You're going to get your certificate. They're going to ask you to download it, or they can actually send it to you. If they send it to you, it's going to take, I think, about 14 days. So you want to make sure you can just download it right then and there. You'll have it. Again, you keep it on a file within your email to keep it close to you. If you have any questions, you can contact irs.gov to get information for that. The next thing, guys, and hopefully this is good information. Hopefully we are getting you guys set up properly. And again, if you have any questions, just shoot a comment down below, and I'll definitely respond to it. Or, our email address is on our page. You can definitely go there as well. to ask any questions that you may have. So the next thing is going to be your NAIC code. Your NAIC code is going to be the North American Industry Classification System. This is primarily used for government contracting. You want to be very careful when you do pick your NAIC code. You want to make sure that it's not in a high risk industry. So sometimes, like, kind of being a little bit more vague would benefit you, especially if you don't know exactly if your business is high risk or if you're going to be in that industry for long. So, like, say, for an example, if you're just setting up a business to get government contracts or something like that, for a certain industry, you may want to just kind of be careful. Just kind of be as vague if you have to, if you do plan on changing the industry. But this is going to be important if you decide to get government contracts. So, SBA or SAM.gov, this is going to be very important for you to do. And you can have more than one NAIC code as well. The next thing is you want to get your business license. Your business license, guys, you want to go to your local, state, and federal. There's a possibility that you may have a local, state, and federal license. So you just check with your local municipality and see if they require you to file a business license in that municipality. And then you just go up the chains and see if you still have to do it, at the state level and the federal level. Typically the license is depending on your revenue or projected revenue for the year or revenue that you've incurred on the year. So it's important that you kind of have some of these things and an idea of some of these things in place before you get the ball rolling. All right. The next thing, guys, is going to be your business bank account. So one of the things I recommend is, if you guys haven't already, there's a great book called Profit First. It's a great book. I can't remember the author's name now. I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. But anyway, it's a great book that you guys can use and benefit from. So I'm not going to go full throttle with his method. I'm just going to say that you should definitely have 2 business bank accounts. I think it's very important. So you want to set up a business checking account and also a business savings account. And the purpose of this, guys, is you want to make sure that you can allocate funds in different places to make sure that you're in the best possible position. So say, for an example, you want to have one for taxes. You want to have one for yourself. Like if you're doing an owner's draw, that's important. So you want to do one for supplies, inventory, subscriptions, etc. So you want to make sure that you're able to separate these things as much as possible. And one of the things I would recommend, for an example, is I would just break everything down into percentages. So I may say, if I get paid $1,000 per client, then I would take $300 of that. That would go towards taxes. Maybe let's say 400 would go to self, supplies, and inventory. We get the difference. We'll get the other 300. So that's just a quick example that you may want to kind of put in place to make sure that all of your expenses and everything is taken care of. Also, it's very important as a business that you have certain things set up. So I look at setting up a business as if you would set up your own personal life. Excuse me. So in your personal life, you want to make sure that you have savings. You want to make sure you have an emergency fund. You want to make sure that you have life insurance, investments, etc. So similar to a business, you want to make sure that you have savings. You can do a life insurance policy on yourself as a business owner. It's called like a key man policy. Those are important to make sure that if something happens to you as the owner, the business can sustain, especially if you have employees or you plan to have employees. That's going to be very important. So make sure you put those things in place. Your supplies, subscriptions, inventory, etc. Those things are where your like your G Suite, your phone number, your address, etc. Those things are going to come out of that account. So you're going to make sure that account is set up and always has adequate funds to make sure that everything is taken care of. I would also recommend that you create like an Excel sheet to show exactly what's coming out each month or what things you're subscribing to each month. Because I'm going to tell you guys, as a business owner, it's so many little quick things that you think is just something simple. $5 here, $12 here, $8 here, and it starts to add up. And what happens a lot of times is we forget that we're using that service, and we've been paying for 10 years now, and we haven't even used it but 20 days. So those are just things you want to kind of keep in mind to make sure that you're not overspending And I'm telling you this from experience because this is something that we've done time and time again. Just because we're not watching the books, 100% every day or every month, and we may miss it, the accountants may miss it. So you want to make sure that you have those things in place as well. All right. Another thing while we're on business bank account, I forgot to mention this, but you also want to make sure that you have, so your two bank accounts, you want to make sure that one is like a more well-known bank. So like a Chase or Bank of America, something like that. That's good banks to have, and they have pretty good perks for small business owners. And then the other, you want to make sure that you have a business bank account with a small or local credit union, because you have better opportunities to get funding and get money from those than you do sometimes from your bigger banks. So that's just something for you guys to keep in mind when it comes to setting up your business bank accounts. Also, when you set up your business bank account, you want to make sure that you have your certificate of good standing with you, or at least accessible. Sometimes they're going to want to see that when they ask you to set up the account. So that's it for business bank accounts. The next thing, guys, we want to talk about is setting up your QuickBooks. So your QuickBooks is going to be a service that will help you to manage your books. So it's going to show, what's coming in, what's going out. I think you can actually do invoices through it now too, but you want to make sure that those things are set up. So you'll link your bank accounts to your QuickBooks. If you have like a Stripe account or PayPal or something like that, you want to make sure that you're able to link those things to it as well. Any money that's coming into your business, you want to make sure it's linked to your QuickBooks. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Don't use Cash App or any of those other like server banks or cards or prepaid cards or anything like that when it comes to your business. Please don't use those. I definitely recommend just getting official bank accounts and official bank cards and different things where you can accept money as well. Um, All right, so that's the quick was. I had another thing, but I completely forgot what I was going to say. So it's all good. The last thing, guys, is you want to set up a business plan. Your business plan is going to be very important. Your business plan is going to show you guys and your strategy of how to market your business, operations of your business, how to grow your business. So you want to look at your business from a 3 to 5 year vision. So stretch it out and show exactly what it is that you want to do within your business to grow. And so this is going to be very important. So you want to have a company description. You want to have a non-disclosure agreement first. You want to have a company description. You want to have an executive summary. You want to have your products and services. You want to have a marketing analysis. You want to have marketing and sales. And then you also want to have a section that talks about your finances. So this is where you're going to talk about your financial projections. You're going to be talking about your balance sheet, profit and loss sheet. You want to have all of those things set aside as well. The last thing, guys, is the absolute last step, number 10, and that's going to be make sure that you have a coach or mentor in place that will help you along the journey. So many times I've seen businesses who, and not to say that it's not expensive, but it will be more expensive for you guys to not have one than to have one. You want to make sure that you can find a coach that can help you along the process, and make sure they have some guarantees in place to make sure that you're able to see the benefits of paying for the coach, opposed to just having a coach and hoping for the best. So those are my 10, guys. And I'm gonna give you guys, I'm gonna show you guys this. If you guys want access, um, we have a lot of resources that we have provided for, that you guys can have. These are free resources. This is our ebook, Broke versus Wealthy Entrepreneur. We break down hundreds of different secrets and things that you guys can use to implement within your business to help grow. So just go here. You can download it. Website is blackwelllegacyuniversity.com. You can go here. You can download our ebook. Also, guys, you can go here. We do a weekly training that you guys can take advantage of. Just this week, it was created a drip campaign that will skyrocket your revenue and profits. So that's something I want you guys to take advantage of. And then also, if you are a new business owner and if you need business coaching, but it may not be in the budget right now, I want you to let me log in. I want you to reach out to us. We'll give you access to our business academy, where we're able to show you how to increase your profits. And the good thing is it's something that you can do on your own. So we have a social media training. We have a sales training. If you're having issues with generating leads, we have multiple trainings on that: conversions, transactions, how to increase prices, how to increase profits. These are just a few different areas where we can help you to grow your business. So if you want access to that, just reach out to us and we'll give you access to that as well. We're only for that is only $97 a month, so it's not super expensive, but it's a lot of value that you would get from it. All right, guys. So I hope this was beneficial. Hope this was good information for you guys. Last thing is I want to talk about a few myths that we've seen within the industry that you guys should kind of steer clear of, or just kind of to make sure that you're not falling into the trap. One of the things that we've seen, and this is the first myth, one of the things that we've seen is gurus or people on social media telling you that if you start a business today, you're able to get $50,000, $100,000 in funding the same day. Guys, I'm not going to say that it's not possible, but what I will say is I've never seen it myself, right? So that does not mean that it's not possible. Maybe it's something they know that I don't know. But we've been helping businesses for years, and we've been helping to get funding for businesses. We actually we're partnered with two traditional banks. We've helped build business credit. We understand the business credit world, and we have never seen that happen. I'm not going to say never, never can happen, but we've never seen it. But guys, there's no such thing as quick success. I want to make sure that you guys understand that. If you want to get business credit, if you want to get funding for your business, there's a process. You want to make sure that these things we talked about today are done, and also that you want to make sure that you're able to, don't skip any steps when it comes to building your business, because a lot of times, a lot of gurus, a lot of business owners are just in business for today. Guys, we want to make sure that you're in business for a lifetime. We named our business Blackwell Legacy Group because we want to build a legacy, but also we want to help other businesses build a legacy as well. So make sure you keep that in mind. Make sure it's not just a fly-by-night thing, and that you're able to build a real business. Excuse me. The next myth is, guys, you can build business credit, or again, you can build business credit. Or here's another one. Here's another myth, and I'm just kind of talking now, but that you can get a G-Wagon in your business name. Right? Here's the thing. Is it possible? Yes, you 100% can go get the G-Wagon in your name, the Mercedes G-Wagon. It's a beautiful vehicle. It is possible. Here's the thing, guys. I don't want you guys to get, dismissed as fruit. Anything that you do in your business name, you want to make sure that you have the income to justify that thing. Because if not, you're going to get that vehicle, you're going to get that house or whatever, and you are going to be in a position where you're going to be wondering, how in the heck am I going to pay for it? Now you're going to have to increase your prices. Then you're going to be struggling to get clients. Now you're going to go into a cycle of trying to get, credit cards and get into debt to pay for these things, when you really should just build your business. And if you're in a position where, those are a couple myths, guys, we're going to tackle a few more on another episode. But we want to thank you guys for checking out this video. If you have any questions, make sure you comment below. Make sure you subscribe to this video, because we're almost at 50, so we can start going live and doing trainings like this live. So we thank you guys, and we appreciate you for checking this out. And we are out. Peace.